Today is a very exciting day. We're going to be doing a gearbox service on the F Type, which means essentially replacing this, which is the gearbox sump and filter. We'll be replacing the gearbox oil as well. I've just got the oil down here. The goal of this video is really to see whether it's worth doing this yourself. So I called 3 different Jaguar garages and I was quoted in the region of about £650, give or take sort of 20 or 30 pounds. The kit here, so there's 7 litres of oil and then this sump and filter, only costs £270, so there's about a £400 saving if you can do this yourself. The car's already up on the ramps, so let's get on with it.
So, who can relate to that? I've just absolutely smashed my knuckles onto the car and then gone on to pretend like nothing happened. So what I've actually just achieved there is loosening the oil fill plug. So it's really important to make sure that you actually can loosen that before you actually drain the oil out. Otherwise you're going to drain the oil out of the gearbox and then have no way of putting it back in. So next we're going to look at the actual oil drain plug.
Right then, so I'm just going to pull out this drain plug here. I do have a washing up bowl here, so this can hold about 10 litres I think. So there should be plenty. I think we're probably going to get hopefully 6 or 7 litres out, we'll see. So the next step then is going to be to take out all of these bolts. So these sort of go around the sump, so that shouldn't be too hard. I'm going to use the impact driver to take them out pretty quickly. And then we'll be able to pull this down. I'm expecting a bit of a mess, so let's see how that goes. When you are looking at the old one of these, it's probably just worth paying attention to the magnets. So on the new one, these are the magnets here, so there's 4 of them. On the old one, you've got 2 here and 2 just up there. Looking at these, you can actually, it's kind of hard to tell, you sort of have to put your finger on it and you can see that this is all very silvery metallic-y. So these are just very minor metal shavings that have come into the oil as the gearbox is worn. So it's done 80,000 miles now. I'm just going to go ahead and put this back on the car now. I won't bore you with this bit, but I am just going to clean up the gasket face that this seals against, because obviously we don't want any oil leaks.
Would you believe it? That was the easy part. Next, we're filling the gearbox back up with oil, and here's the official procedure to do it from the manufacturer. If we get this wrong, it can mean causing some serious damage to the gearbox. So let's see how we got on with it.
We're basically getting ready to start adding the fluid back in, and I'm just thinking what's the best way of making sure that we do get at least roughly the right amount back in. So I've got all of the old oil that came out here. I think it's about 4 litres. So what I'm going to do now actually is just weigh the oil that comes out. I mean, you won't be able to see it, but I've got just 3 kilos here. So that shows how much we got out of the car. So we got, yeah, essentially probably about 3.8 litres, 3.9 litres all in. Okay then, so that's pouring out now, so I think that's full, as full as we can get it while it's cold. So we'll now go up inside the car, and we've just got to get the fluid warm to do the second and final fill. So now I'm in the car with the engine running, going between the gears. This is what's advised to do in the flowchart that I showed earlier, and the purpose of this is just to fill all of the different components back up with oil that we drained out earlier. In addition to this, we've got to make sure that the gearbox oil is between 40 and 50 degrees before we do the final top off of oil. You'll notice that last time gearbox oil was pouring out of the gearbox. I then put the fill plug back in and started this procedure. You'll see that I've taken the fill plug back out and no oil pours out. Not only that, we can actually top off more gearbox oil within the gearbox because we've done this procedure. So it's making sure that we've done this procedure right, which is key to making sure that we have the right amount of oil in the gearbox. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the oil out of this tub, and it's just dripping out now, so I'm going to assume that we're about there. I mean, the oil does feel warm, so I think we're at about the right temperature, and then obviously given that we've put basically the same back in that we took out, I think that we can quite confidently say that we've got enough in there. Okay then, so we're on the road, the car's up to temperature now, everything's working fine. Is there any difference? I can't really honestly say so, but then again, you don't really expect there to be a difference for a gearbox service. I will just put it through its paces in its second, make sure that it goes through the gears, and then we can do a final conclusion. So earlier on I mentioned how doing this job yourself saves you around £400. Was it worth doing that to save that money? I think yeah, absolutely. Servicing an automatic gearbox is something that's always been a bit of a mystery to me, and I know obviously there's sort of automatic gearbox specialists and stuff, and I think sometimes to service these things it's advised to even take it to a specialist. So I was never really sure with how easy it would be to do it DIY, but yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. If you can do an engine service and you're pretty confident at that, and you're confident doing an engine service, then I'd say you can definitely do a gearbox service. There's nothing that's any more complex. Maybe the fact that you've got to get the oil to a certain temperature adds a little bit of complexity, but you know, if you can do an engine service confidently, you can definitely do a gearbox service confidently. Okay then, so we're on a fast bit of road here. We've got the car in sports mode. Let's see how it goes. Very quickly caught up with the cars in front. Okay then, so that's going to be everything for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and for those who have stayed watching until the end, I'm going to treat you to a very short, quick clip. Enjoy.